this will be very different from all those drop shippers that say, well, I made 60K at 16 and I spent 60K on ads. It's not one of those videos. Of this roughly 100K over here, and this does include time when I was 17. I'm 17 now. I'm about to turn 18 very soon. So I did make some money before this business. So you could say I'm cheating a little bit, but I'll say roughly 100K. Roughly. A lot of it, a very good chunk is profit, relatively speaking. My profit margins are very high. So in any case, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I got to this point and how I did it. And I'm going to give you actionable steps and lessons for you to do it yourself. Now, my story is very different from a lot of different other people. A lot of other people are, they're fine. They live in a nice neighborhood, nice house, this, that, and the third. And, they spend their free time running a business. And my fan isn't working. That's great. But, they spend their free time. They run some business online and it ends up popping off. And they're like, wow, guys, look, I made this money. And that's good. I'm not here to shun those people, but my start is different. I did live in a nice neighborhood, but, something happened between my mom and my stepdad, and I went from that to living in a shed in the back of someone's house with no AC, no doors, not even on the bathroom, and I lived like that for a few years. And this was when I was like 12, 11, something like that, 10 maybe even. That was my, that was my real starting point for, doing business. Because at that point I was like, all right, well, evidently things aren't that good. I mean, my entertainment was this big TV from like the early 2000s or 90s. It was a fat TV. It was a VCR hooked up to it, and I'll, get VHS tapes, Larry Bird VHS tapes. What else did I have? I had Veggie Tales, VHS tapes, put in the VCR, play it. That was my entertainment. That's all I had. I basically had no internet. It took me 10 minutes to load a Google web page. And then, I moved. I went to a hoarder's house. Or no, I went to a trailer. It was better over there. And then I went to an apartment. All I remember about it is it was small. I lived on a bunk. I lived in a living room on a bunk bed. And that's when I really started actually, making some money online. Swag bucks, yeah, like that's my starting point. This is only, think about it, I mean, literally 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I've made over 100K, and 3 years ago, I was doing swag bucks. I never actually thought about that. And, excuse me if I'm rambling on here, but I'm just going over my story. I've never really thought about that 3 years ago. Just 3 years ago, I was doing swag bucks. If that doesn't give you motivation, I don't know what does. What will? But I was doing swag bucks. I also was doing thrifting. I made another video about how any Christian man can make up 1K a week easily and quickly. And I went over thrifting a bit more, but this is more about how I got to over 100K, right? So, but this is, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is, this is the process of me trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. From that apartment, I went to a hoarder's house for a few weeks. That sucked. Internet was terrible. I couldn't really do anything over there. My mom, we weren't allowed to cook inside for some reason, so my mom had to cook out a window. She had to get a stove, a portable stove, and cook outside the window and hide it from the hoarder. It's just awful. And she also famoosed us because she said, oh, you guys get one room. No, excuse me. There's 2 rooms, but I get one room and my parents get one room. But, that changed. But right before we left, she sold the other room to another person. So we ended up leaving, went to another apartment. And it was better over there. Started homeschooling over there. Then I moved from there to a place I lived at. And you can actually see that place. I had one room. It was a very cramped space. And I lived in that room for quite a while. And that's when that's when the business really started taking off. Right? And if you go to my old channel, Hyosha Archives, you can look at my first few videos. You can see that room. And then I moved here, and now I have 2 rooms. So my bedroom is another room. It's down there, and this is the office I work in. My inventory is all over here. You can see the light over there. I use that for my business, right there. Got a TV there. More inventory all over these walls that you can't see there off screen. So with all that being said, that's really the overarching context of all of this. And at some point, I stumbled upon, this is at the last place I lived at, this was about 2 years ago. I stumbled upon a business idea that came from me thrifting. I was thrifting, I learned the process of reselling, and then I found a business idea from that. Found a specific niche, and I can't go too far into it because these people love canceling, and if you would just watch like me for 5 minutes, in fact, I haven't said anything that crazy in these 5 minutes. That's very rare, but if you watch my other videos, you would know. I don't say particularly politically correct things, and they wouldn't like that very much. So for now, for one day I'll reveal it. One day I'm very confident I'll end up revealing it, but for now, keep it under wraps. But I'm still going to tell you more than enough information for you to, get something going yourself. So I stumbled upon a niche that really linked to my childhood. Right. It was something I knew a lot about. I was very knowledgeable about. And I began finding inventory. And like I said in the last video, the way I got inventory was Japan and buy.jp. I would get inventory in to a warehouse in Japan, and then I'll ship it to myself. And if you get a bunch of packages together, it's cheaper. I do the same thing with the UK, with eBay. Then I would also go on Facebook Marketplace, United States. And I would search throughout the whole entire United States and ask them to ship things to me. And sometimes it worked. And even now on the website I run, and this money came from a website primarily, I have a system where people can message me to sell their stuff regarding a niche. So I have 4 inventory sources now. And, this is what I stumbled upon, though. Back to the very beginning. I stumbled upon this, and I went from $0 in my first month to $4K in my second month. 1 month, that big of a difference. And what I found out was there was a massive gap in marketing. So essentially, in this niche, it's a very tight-knit community. It's a very small niche. And no one, even the people with like 20K subscribers, no one sponsors them. Because, what are you going to sell to these people? Because that's how the niche was. But I discovered, okay, well, these people have a problem, and I could solve the problem, and no one's sponsoring these creators, so let me try sponsoring them with an affiliate code. This would never work, okay? If you go in other niches with people with 20K subs, you can't just tell them, hey, I'll give you a 10% affiliate code, and then, you're going to get 10% of every sale that's made with the code. That would never work. You have to give some upfront payment for these other niches. But no, in this niche, literally no sponsors. Even the people with 100K, they didn't have sponsors. It was very hard to get in contact with them. No sponsors. So I became the sponsor for all these people. I sponsored like 10 people at once. And boom, I started getting a bunch of traffic. Made 4K in the second month. Like that. Life changed like that. And I just rode the wave. And I learned a lot. There were mistakes I made. There were lessons I learned. And, to be honest, after that first spike, it was very simple. It's very easy. I work like 1 to 2 hours a day. 2 max. 2 max is probably more like 1 in total. 1.5. If you average it out, it might even be under 1, to be honest. I'm primarily focusing on this. And it's so simple because once you have an audience, a big audience, it's very easy to sell to them if you aren't a complete retard. And it's also easy to grow social pages once you have something going at the start. The YouTube channel I have for the business has like 3K subs. He gets 150K plus views every 30 days, I believe. It has over 1 million in total. And that's where knowing the niche comes in, because I'm able to make content that people in the niche like, because I know the niche, something I grew up in. Community has changed quite a bit, but it also hasn't changed in the core interests and whatnot, so it's helped a lot. SEO, Google, prioritize that. Instagram's so easy to grow once you have a baseline audience. My Instagram for that account, it took years. Like only until months ago, I got to 1,000. Now the past few months I've gotten 700 followers, like that. Like every single day I'm getting like 15 followers on that business page. So the reason why I tell you that last part is because just understand what this is like a snowball. Okay, maybe at the start, getting the snowball it's like, imagine a hill is like that. Okay, and you have a snowball, and you're trying to make this the biggest snowball ever, right? You're at the top, and you're just pushing the snowball. You're pushing the snowball, and it's really slow. It's really annoying. It's like, oh, man. And then you start going downhill. And now this snowball is just going down really quickly, and it's gaining a lot of size rapidly. The last thing you can do at this situation is stop it somehow. You gotta let it go. That's one mistake I've made. I killed momentum a few times, but in any case, doing well, and I'm financially free. And another way this is different is, and I'll tie this into the start. Actually, no, I'll say that for the first lesson. Anyways, I'm going to give you the actionable steps to making it yourself. So find a niche, find a niche where you know it like the back of your hand, okay? And preferably have it be a tight-knit community that isn't really being marketed to, because if it's like, to be honest, look for marketing gaps. Actually, you know what? Because it's a bit, I'll go back to the original, find a niche you know like the back of your hand. Okay, that's the first step, okay? Find a niche you really know. Find a niche you can make content for. Find a niche where you know the average person's in that niche pain points. And that's the second thing. Find a problem. What problem do these people in the niche have? You know these people. You know the community. You know the niche. What problems do they have? What do they say? Oh, I wish this. Oh, I wish that. What is that problem? Find out. And then figure out a way to solve it. So I don't know. Let's say you're trying to think of something. Let's say you're in a Batman niche. Like you really like Batman. You know a lot about Batman. You know the niche. You know the community like the back of your hand. Let's say like, oh man, I wish I could get these, Batman action figures, but I just can't. I can't find them. They're all sold out everywhere. All this other stuff. I don't know where to get them. If you can find out how to get those Batman action figures, you can solve their problem. And when you solve people's problems, they give you money. Then after that, you have to find marketing gaps. So if you are fortunate enough like me and you're able to find bigger YouTubers that are able to take affiliate code sponsorships, and there you go, right there. Do like 10 of those and you're going to make it. Easy. Really easy. You have to be really stupid to mess that up. Or, you fork out a bit more money, although I wouldn't recommend that. Try to do affiliate. Or you can find smaller creators and just, sponsor a bunch of them. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. Now, you want to next give people a way to give you money. This probably should go earlier on, but I'm pretty sure you can, understand this. You're not stupid. You need to give people a way to give you money. Okay, this is probably one of your first priorities. You get a website going, you connect Stripe, and that's it. Okay, don't overcomplicate. Well, I'm gonna get an LLC. Don't be one of those nerds. Okay, don't worry. This is not legal advice. I'm only joking here, but don't give a damn about the legal stuff until you start actually making money. Okay? Only a joke, not legal advice. Follow the jurisdiction of your region. In any case, those are the actionable steps, okay? Find a niche, like the back of your hand. Figure out a problem, find a way to solve it, find marketing gaps, give people a way to make you money. Give people a way to make you money. Or give people a way to give you money, excuse me. Probably should have warmed up a bit more before recording this video. But anyways, there you go. Those are actionable steps. Now I'm going to give you 5 lessons I've learned. Firstly, everything is your fault. And this is going to circle back to the very start. I mentioned how this video is going to be very different from other people's experiences. And that's because when they make 100K, assuming it's not all, drop shipping ad spend, they have a nice umbrella over their heads. So, they can spend their money and get some really nice car and get something to flex and all this other stuff. But you don't really, like me, I wasn't really in a position to do that. In terms of bills, payments to my parents, whether it be a bill or getting stuff for them or paying my mom's wages because she does, shipping for me. I spent over 20K doing that. Right. And that's basically 17. I'm not even 18 and I'm paying that much. And the lesson is not that you should feel bad about. The lesson is everything is your fault. It's my fault that I was in a situation where that 20K led me not to getting a car. And also, so, I do have 2 rooms. I have a successful business. I'm able to do this. I'm able to get this mic. I'm able to get this set up. Nice computer, nice monitor, all this other stuff. But it's my fault I haven't made more money. So that's lesson number 1. Everything is your fault. Always keep that in mind. If the business isn't going the way you want, it's your fault. Always remember that. It puts you into an action mindset. And this light is hot as hell. Goodness. It puts you in an action mindset of understanding that if things aren't going your way, you have to do something about it. Because if you start taking the mindset of like, well, time's just bad. I lived not too long ago. I lived in a house with no AC and no doors. That's boo-hoo. That's my reality. That's why I don't make money now. Can't be your mindset. If that's your mindset, you're not going to get anywhere. Lesson 2. Appreciate harder starting points. I'm about to turn on this fan. Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. So lesson 2. Appreciate harder starting points. This makes the fruits of your labor taste much better. Okay, because if I was some dude who lived in a nice neighborhood, nice umbrella over my head, I can make whatever mistake I wanted. Didn't have to worry about bills. Didn't have to worry about any of this stuff. I wouldn't appreciate what I have that much, relatively speaking. If I was in a position, I'll be able to have a really nice car, and I'll be in this video, put a thumbnail, me with my BMW Z4, which I do want. Sitting on top of it, like how I made 100K and I got this car and whatever. But that wouldn't be as fulfilling because you know what? Not only have I helped with the bills, which I do think is much more fulfilling than a car, it is also a sign of the fact that I started from a lower point and I've made it up quite high. I've made it much higher because the truth is most people don't even start the online business that they want to start. When they do start, they give up. And if they do not give up, even then they don't usually make that much. Especially add-on by the time they're 16. Okay? So I appreciate the harder starting point because I've done something most other people can't. Or it's not can't, and the can't's not the right word. Can't with their mindset. They can't do it with their own mindset. Most people are unwilling to do it. Okay, I use the word can't because, with their mindset, they can't. If they change their mindset, they could, but the thing is, that's a tall order for a lot of these people. Even in that position, I was still able to surpass all of them. You may say, oh, that's arrogant. You have an ego. Suck my balls. I'll save that lesson for last. Switch to this. Lesson 3. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay? Don't do anything too crazy. Okay? You don't need to do anything too crazy. Just figure out what works. Okay? And use it. And let's look at the marketing gaps. People have done sponsorships forever. It works. Don't reinvent the wheel with your marketing. Instagram. People have been using Instagram for business forever. SEO. People have been using SEO for business forever. Twitter, YouTube, all this stuff. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay? Don't try. Well, YouTube, Instagram, all this stuff works, but let me try this other platform that no one's heard of. Maybe I could blow up on here. Don't worry about all that. Okay? Maybe you can experiment. I'm not saying that don't experiment, but don't prioritize reinventing the wheel because that's a complete waste of time. You have better things to do with your time. Now, lesson 4. I know this is a cliche, but never give up. Because look back on my story, and I've gotten as in depth as I could, because it's not really the point of this video. The point is more so to give you guys advice, but never give up because I failed many times. I had the shoe business that I made SpongeBob shoes that looked terrible. I spent all of my net worth at the time on those SpongeBob shoes. Didn't make anything back. GameCube controllers, customizing them. I broke 2 of them, being a moron. All my money down the drain. Swag bucks. I thought Swagbucks was gonna make. Oh, God, such an idiot. Yeah, there's more stuff I've forgotten about. Sports cards. Sports cards. I tried doing sports cards too. There's so many businesses that I've, to get this point across, I have tried more business ideas. No. I have forgotten about more business ideas than most people have tried. Okay, if I was able to, figure out every single business idea that I forgot, it would probably be more than most people have ever tried in general. Okay, you have to fail a bunch of times, all right, and you have to be willing to dust yourself off and get back up and try again. Because failure is only when you don't try again. Failure is when your spirit is crushed, and when your spirit's crushed in business, you never try again. And you end up going to flip burgers because you think that's all you're worth. Man, I'm speaking horribly today. Oh well. It is what it is. I'm still giving great advice. I'm still the best speaker in the world. In any case, lesson number 5. And a lot of you may have been wondering, this video is titled, Christian Men, but I haven't really heard much about Christianity. What's up with that? And this is lesson 5. This is the divine command. And this is where I'm very different, again, from a lot of other Christians who talk about this type of stuff, because they always go like, well, money is greedy. Money is bad. Don't try to get money. Live for the afterlife. It doesn't go with you to the afterlife. And it's pretty annoying to argue against that position because it's true, technically. Some parts, like money doesn't go with the afterlife. That's true. But I'm not saying it does. What does the Bible say men should do? Traditional masculine gender roles. Right? Part of that is providing. In order to provide nowadays, unless you have some farm and you're able to, get your chickens, get your cows, and you're able to get your food and all this other stuff, right? If you're in a position like me, the way you provide is by giving money. Making money, giving it to people you care about. So really, if you want to fulfill your divine command, you need to make some money. And there's no pride in being some brokey, unless, you're broke for a very good reason. But most people aren't. Most of these people are actually really lazy. They don't really want to, put the effort in to make money. They're like, well, this is really, their mindset is really, well, I'm too lazy to put in the work to make money, so I'm just going to say money is bad. That's what they do. Okay, don't be one of those people. Be one of the people who are different. Be someone who says, hey, God has given me the command to provide for others, so I'm going to make money so I can provide for others. And of course, the afterlife is the most important thing. Of course. Don't be a greedy little prick. Of course. But don't conflate the two. Just making money doesn't make you a greedy little prick. That's very simple. I don't understand why a lot of these people don't understand that. In any case, this is all part of a bigger movement, building back Christian men. Okay, Christian men keep losing. And one of the aspects we lose in is money. Because we have a lot of people, and again, these people have somewhat of a point, but they conflate it, right? We have all these people saying, well, money is bad, money is greedy, don't try to make money, you love money, all this other stuff. How about loving, fulfilling God's given rules to us? Being able to provide for others. How about loving freedom? That's one of the mindsets I want to instill in all Christian men. Build back Christian men. If you really want to join the movement, link in the description for the Discord. Check out my website. Give me your email so I can sell you stuff and give you free stuff, free newsletters, free information. Follow me on Instagram, like all my posts because I said so and I need a better looking Instagram, and subscribe for future videos. Those are my call to actions. I'll see you in the next one.